My name is Jose Najarro, and welcome to another Star Wars episode. Today we are going to take a look at Star Wars Vader Dark Vision comic book, issue number 4. So let's get started and take a look at this comic book. Alright, so for those that don't know, Darth Vader, Star Wars Vader Dark Vision is a 5-issue comic. In this comic book, we take each issue is an individual story of Darth Vader, but being seen in the perspective of someone else. In issue number 1, we see Vader being as a hero. In number 2, we see Vader being feared by the people he commands. In issue number 3, we see a woman fall madly in love with Vader. And in this one, based on the cover, we can see is gonna follow some form of X-Wing fighter. And we can see, right, Vader has this guy at the palm of his hands. Like always, I'm gonna let you guys know who the main characters are in this issue, where is it gonna take place, when is it taking place, and any cool or important facts that you guys need to know, so like that you guys get the full picture of while I'm going through this comic book. So obviously the first main character is gonna be Darth Vader himself. This takes place obviously during the Empire. There's no actual timeline, but it does seem it's about probably 10 years since the Empire, 10 to 15 years since the Empire has taken over. The next character we are going to encounter is this X-Wing pilot. This X-Wing pilot is a brand new pilot. He's pretty unexperienced when it comes to war, but he is an experienced flyer. Experienced pilot, right? He does have some backstory that we're going to see, but pretty much is this guy saw his dad die at the hands of some troopers. So now obviously we have a reason why he joins the rebels, right? He hates the Empire because they killed his dad. But he does have an internal struggle within him during the time he saw his dad died. At the moment his dad's death, he had the shot to be able to protect his dad, or so he believes. So now he has this issue where he knows he could have saved his dad if he would have taken the shot. So in this issue, we're going to see if he gets another chance at taking a shot at someone else, and does he save the day or does he fail again? So that's who we're going to follow. We're going to get a quick backstory of him. Throughout the whole comic, they don't give him a name. They just call him Kid. Some cool thing is we are going to see a Star Destroyer in this. It's going to be called the Leviathan. Leviathan, not sure. Let's call it Levy for short. So the Levy Star Destroyer is going to be here. It is the first time it makes an appearance. But just a cool fact, when I was Googling the Star Destroyer's name, it actually was the name of a ship that was used in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So this is something we do see a lot pretty frequently, that they use names used in non-canon books or non-canon video games, non-canon comics, and they bring over either the names, the way they look, here into now the canon realm. So that's just a cool thing to know, and we'll see that Star Destroyer in a bit. So let's start it off, right? Alright, so we're going to start off in Coruscant. Here is just the original backstory of Kid. Here we see Kid is watching his dad. His dad is a gunslinger, a gun smuggler, and he has been trapped by the troopers. He's trying to talk his way out of getting in trouble, but it does not seem to be working. He has trained his son Kid to be able to cover him, and we can see Kid being here under the sewers, ready to take with a gun, ready to take aim to save his dad, just like he taught him, right? So throughout here, he ends up finally, Kid's dad ends up running. While he was running, this is when Kid is supposed to take the shot. He has the perfect shot, and he does not take it. His dad ends up dying, and at the end, he ends up blaming himself for this. He had the shot, he couldn't have taken it, and as a result, his dad ends up dead. Alright, so now we're in the future. Kid has become an X-Wing pilot. Just another quick backstory here we're going to see is right now these X-Wing pilots have just gone battle with the Empire. Unfortunately, the Empire has a secret base where they're building more TIE fighters and they're upgrading TIE fighters. Unfortunately, the rebels do not know where this base is, so they developed this plan where they act like they fought the Empire. They've lost, and as a result, they're faking their loss. They've powered down. The Empire thinks they've won, so now the Empire is going to continue going on to their secret base. Here, these guys are trying to track down the secret base by tracking the TIE fighters. Here we can see, right, they have sent the tracker to deploy as the Empire goes on to the secret base. We end up getting another backstory. So this is one thing I don't like about this issue that much. It is all over the place a lot, and it doesn't give you a smooth transition throughout the whole comic book. This is actually one of my least favorite so far as we're going. Now, we're going a little bit back in time when Kid actually becomes an X-Wing pilot. The kid was told that he needed to wait about 5 years before he can actually fly an X-Wing because there's a lot of determination, a lot of tactics, a lot of codes, a lot of teamwork that needs to be drilled down to you as a pilot, especially since the X-Wings are such a hard ship to fly. So you need to be truly experienced to fly them. The kid obviously does not want to wait that long. He ends up hijacking an X-Wing and he ends up showing his amazing skills. This impresses the commander, and obviously he ends up becoming a pilot right away. So now that we know that Kid was also in this mission, we get to see that they actually find the secret Imperial supply moon, and they end up fighting the secret base. Unfortunately for them, Darth Vader was also playing a secret surprise for this. Darth Vader, with the Force, is able to sense the rebels coming. The rebels come, they kill a lot of they end up destroying a lot of TIE fighters. They end up killing the commander that was tracked. Vader ends up getting on his TIE fighter and taking down the rebels one by one. It is impressive how crazy, how an amazing pilot Darth Vader is, and obviously we see it with Anakin himself, right? Darth Vader is definitely one of the greatest pilots in this whole universe. Throughout the comic, we continue to see some more backstory of Kid, and Kid tells him that back then he lost the person he loved because he did not take the shot. And he tells his commander that if he goes on this mission, he will 100% take the shot. There's no pilot better than him, and he is ready to prove himself that he is a man and he's able to take down anything that comes his way. Eventually, Darth Vader takes down all the rebels except two, Kid and the commander that he plead and begs so much to let him to take him in this mission because he is the best pilot. So here we can see that Kid is actually going toe-to-toe flying maneuvers with Vader himself. So we can see that Kid is definitely a great pilot. The commander knows this, and with the two of them by themselves, the commander acts like bait to give Kid a shot. The commander goes down, and the Kid now is able to take a shot. We can see that the Kid is locked and ready to shoot on Vader, but he freezes again. He sees Darth Vader, and he believes that he can't do it. He ends up not taking the shot and actually doing something even worse. He ends up reversing. Darth Vader calls the Star Destroyer that was there, and ends up following Kid. Kid here ends up just running into the rebel base without thinking of the consequences. And we can see here why they actually call him Kid, right? He is such an inexperienced person. I really like the way they have this character, right? He is so inexperienced. They gave him the name Kid. We don't hear anything else from him. And he makes all these mistakes, and all these mistakes are his fault, right? They're all his fault. Darth Vader ends up coming and destroying the rebel base, and that's the last we hear of him. One thing I do find pretty interesting is this final shot. In this final shot, we see half Darth Vader and half Kid. I can't understand why they would do this. I'm trying to picture how the Kid is part of Darth Vader, or how is Darth Vader part of Kid, but I just don't see a connection between this, and I don't really understand this last scene. Out of all that is the end, right? This is actually one of my least favorite Darth Vader Visions issues so far, and the number one is we don't really follow Darth Vader. This guy doesn't really see Darth Vader in any way as we see the other ones, or either I'm just not really reading the book, but to me it seems like we're just following this kid's story, the kid's story. We're not really following Darth Vader's story. The only thing is we see that Darth Vader is feared in both land and he is feared in space as a pilot. That's the only thing I can see here resembling another way that another person used Darth Vader. But like I mentioned, this comic book was actually one of my least favorites so far. Hopefully the final issue 5 will be a lot better. But this one, I didn't like how it jumped between so much timeline back and forth. I understand they're trying to give us a backstory. So I hope you guys enjoyed this comic book. It was a quick one. Let me know what you guys think. The next one is going to be Dark Vision 5, which I hope is a lot better than this. Make sure to post on the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and take care, guys. See you next time. Have a good night.